Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I have a 2007 Dodge Ram 3500 with a 6.7 liter engine. The computer is a CM2100A. Corey, this is your computer from Arizona. The concern is with the fuel control actuator. Let me, as I normally do, show you. I have the computer already open. I already did the repairs, trying to move as quick as possible because I have a lot of work. But I wanted to show you the tests, connections, and everything. So this computer this computer came and I was able to reproduce a no activation on the fuel control actuator. But let me show you the file that I created for the customer. This is the computer when I first got it. As you can see the part number in there. And this is the note. It says concerns and or faults has code p0251, which I will show you in a second, all the description and flow chart, that it keeps throwing. I believe something with the FCA driver circuit has failed, has low fuel pressure due to the FCA not being controlled, perform test light, and will not flash the test light, which I did and it didn't. He sent also the fuel control actuator. I said, please send me if you have a spare one. He said, yes, we already replaced it, so I can send you that one. It's just trash pretty much. I said, yeah, I would like to see if there's any problems with the circuit because of that or because it's something internal in the computer, and it's actually something internally in the computer, nothing to do with the actuator. But I connected. It says, as you see, this is the big number G776973. This is again just for my data. ACU part number, big number means it never has been changed, and these are the tests that I was doing. I am connected also with a fuel pressure regulator to control that, to see what we see now, because it was actually throwing, like you see in here, fuel pump current 0, which is kind of odd because it should be showing something. Let me see what else. I think that's all the information as far as his concerns. The pin out for the actuator, it's just a 2-pin connector. One is the driver control and the other one is return, which is a constant ground the computer provides. And I have to check, make sure the polarity is corrected correctly. The diagram, let me see, FCA, warrant diagrams right here. It's better to see it on the DTC itself. This is coming from Identifix, and it's nice because it tells you that yes, the fuel control actuator is connected into pin 30 and pin 10, and it tells you which one is the ground, return, right? That's what the manufacturers call the ground, and then the driver control and pin 30. So pretty good. It also tells you which pins you need to connect for to make sure, because it has polarity. What else in here? Let me see. The fuel control actuator is an electronic control solenoid. The engine control module provides a pulse width modulator, driver circuit, and ground circuit to the FCA. The ACM varies the current to this valve to provide the correct fuel flow to the high pressure pump based on operating conditions. The FCA is a normally open valve. High circuit resistance may cause the fuel pressure to be higher than commanded at light loads. Although this is primarily an electrical diagnostic check, the fuel supply issues and high pressure leaks can cause the ACM to force the fuel control actuator into a region where this fault code becomes active, and definitely it was not the case. So this is where sometimes the information that they try to give you is not all, but at least it says the ECM illuminates the middle lamp, and let me see, immediate diagnostic failed. During this time, the customer might experience low power. The ECM turns the mill off when the diagnostic runs and passes in 4 consecutive dry cycles. So it has to pass 4 times to erase the fault code by itself. In Identifix, which I have opening here, I have, I created that was the same information that you were seeing. Michael Brown in here says, set the fuel control actuator, fuel rate pressure sensor to make sure that they're working properly. Test the fuel rate pressure sensor monitor reading through a compatible scan tool. Check the target and actual fuel pressure. It should be around 200 to 500 psi maximum of each other. To test the fuel control actuator, connect a test slide between the 2 terminals on the actuator. Turn the key on, and within 20 seconds, the test light should light bright up for a few seconds. That's very good, very key information. Right, so right now I have the actual actuator connected. Let me put the scanner on the view because I have the scanner ready to be connected, but it's not plugged in yet or not connected to the computer. I have also the meter so we can see the firewall reference. Let me put that view on my screen. Let me actually go back. So we're going to read. You're going to see that we can read the correct B number from his computer. It's not updating to viewer. Okay, now it's look like it is. So yes, you can see everything is reading correctly. That's exactly what it was. So let's go over to the data bits right now because the actuator, as you can see right there, is connected in pin 10 and pin 30 on connector 1. This is connector 1 and that is connector 2. And I can definitely hear the activation on the, I should be showing something that says vehicle identification number 2007, blah, blah, blah. It's not really important information. Looked like I lost the, let me get the scanner on my table. See, this is the view that which we have seen in there that is freezing or frozen. All right, so it looks like I updated now. Let's go into the PCM. We're going to enter. Very quick communication. Let's read the full codes. And we should see no p0251. That's all the full codes we have. So we have no p0251, which is great. All right, let's go over to the data stream. And I want to select everything that has to do with the fuel pressure. Let me see if you pressure regulated output for pressure voltage, for pressure sensor, fuel pressure current, and HD CPR set point and pressure, which should be the same thing. All right, so right now we can see now amperage. You see it's showing 90.286 amps, and that all depends on how much rail pressure is there. If the rail pressure changes, you see how immediately that reading changed. So I'm going to change it dramatically. I'm sure where was I connected? Yeah, because it is changing, but it's not showing. I changed the pressure. You can see how it's now in 85, and it's changing. Yes. Hey, the update rate is definitely not there. I'm gonna get it just close to what it's supposed to be. But yeah, now we're reading amperage. Before I was reading nothing. And 900 milliamps, because it's not 96 amps. I cannot, think about it, 96 amps. So that's definitely an error. That's 96 milliamps, because 96 amps, it will cook the wires that I have connected to this. And my supply is set to 2 amps, so let me actually change that a little bit. Yeah, it's set to 2 amps, which is plenty for what we have. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to unplug the valve from here. And right now it's in 0, you see? That's like what we have in the picture. Remember, that's what I was trying to show you in the picture before. We have an open circuit. Something was damaged in the computer, obviously, and I fixed it, and now it's not. So I did that on purpose so you can see now the amperage went to 0, which is in here. I'm going to put them into a graph so you can see it says 0 amp. So this is pretty much what we really want to see here. So I'm going to actually get out of here. 1 second. And I'm going to turn the computer off. You're going to see the firewall reference goes to sleep. Let's wait for that to happen. Okay, so now the computer is off. I'm going to completely power off because I wanted to connect the test light. The test light has no polarity because there's no movement. It's just a test light, right? So let me connect it. As you can see, the test light really good from there. All right, so let me power it up. And in here, I not even need to do a test. Let's wait for the computer to power up, and we can see the test light coming on. Like in the text tip, it says for a few seconds, right? So this is exactly, now we can see, and it stays on, right? Because it's providing a little bit of an amperage to that test light. So let's enter again in the same place we were, and now we can see that it's drawing around, and the reason it's changing is because the pressure is also changing a little bit on the signal that I am providing. But we can see the amperage change, and that is completely good. Now the whole circuit is fully functional. It was, I'm going to tell you, it has been a challenge. These computers are so delicate to open. The way they build it is you have to be really careful, because otherwise you can damage the computer. And luckily for Corey, this was actually a repair possible, or a possible repair. All right, guys, again, just a short video. I want to keep you updated, see where that what I'm doing in here. Powers and grounds and everything for these computers. You see, I have a connector made, and I have actually both connectors. This is actually coming from Flex. They sell these for programming, and I have the powers and grounds and everything. So I can show you, because I do have that information in here as well. What are the connections required for this to work? So let me take that out of the view. And this is pretty much what I have. So in the connector C2, right, we are in this connector C1. You can see right here, there is absolutely no pins marked, only on this one, even though there are actually some cables in here, but not into what they show there. So B positive, or battery positive, is pin 49. Sorry, this is 49.6. 49.6. I don't know why they're calling the connector this one. Oh, yeah, 6. You see right here, it says connector 5 and connector 6. You see right there that number 5, number 6. So that's what that 6 means. So pin 49 is battery positive. Pin 45 is ignition. Pin 48 is ground. Can high and pin 1, and can low and pin 21. I also have in that same connector a fiber reference in pin 27, sensor ground in pin 29, and there is another fiber reference on the connector, the first connector C1, and pin 26, and sensor ground in pin 22, which I already checked, and everything is fully functional. For communication, you only need the one connector like I have in here. This will be enough to talk to the computer and do the tests. That's what I provided the wires on the other one by myself. I have made, I have an assortment of connectors of any types to do my connections and put the slide, actuators, and everything like I did for these tests, because it's a way to reproduce the customer concern, correct it, and then fix it. All right, guys. So again, just a short video. If you have any computers, this is completely out of, I don't know why it's focusing. It looks like it finally focused, kind of like in me. If you have any computers, automotive or marine, instrument cluster, I'm here to help you. Mike Salazar Diagnostics. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye-bye.